some young broke dude. I've gotten nudes from sex workers without paying. I'm friends with sex workers without paying. And I've even slept with sex workers without paying. You know how? Because everyone deserves to be treated like real humans. Turns out, when you treat humans like humans, you get real human interaction. Stop being dicks. My friend is interested in me. She's quite adorable and I absolutely love her personality. There's another dude in the picture and he's quite interested in her. I told her I couldn't have a girlfriend because of my workload. This is true. However, I also felt bad for the other dude. She's probably the best that he can do with his level of education, income, and skills. And he's a nice guy also. I like him. Usually dudes will attack me over a cute girl. This guy was chill and did no such thing. So I guess I wouldn't mind if he took my girl, as I feel he would end up marrying her. He'd be nice to her for a few years until he gets drunk and starts beating her, I guess. Any girl who ends up with me would live a very happy life and never have to work. Actually, she would only have to pop out babies for me. Her. So you're handsome, educated, successful, and kind? Me. Yeah, so? Her. Perfect man. I guess she figured it all out.
One of my friends told me she can't talk to me right now because my success is triggering her insecurities and jealousy. I respect the hell out of her for being open and vulnerable. Communication is key, which is why we must all come from a place of non-judgment.
I'm not your average weed smoker. I've probably smoked at least 500 blunts in each of these 3 outfits featured here. Still not impressed? I have 2 other outfits not featured in this picture.
That feeling when you submit your 6-figure tax return.
Anyone just open their bank app to stare at the money they have because it makes them happy, or is it just me?
Funny Wendy's story for you. Was down to get a cheeseburger and chili with my buddy. We walked in. At the counter was this tight little piece of a cashier. My buddy started blushing. He's a bit of a loser with girls, so yeah. I strutted up and ordered my stuff. She was giving me the bedroom eyes. While I'm a happily married man, so I decided to give my buddy a boost. I said, this young buck here, he can go all night. I gave her the trademark wink that got me laid in my day. Could practically hear her knickers get soaked. I still got it. Suddenly, my buddy turns bright red and starts stammering and stuttering an apology. The girl just sighed and didn't say anything, probably disappointed I didn't put the moves on her. So we got our order and I still roast him about it to this day. Just some good, clean fun.
I am humble, thank you for noticing, but I don't mind dabbling in a bit of flaunting every now and then, and from your reaction, it seems like it's working. Haha. It's not my fault that I'm better than you in every way. It's just, I've worked harder than you ever did and got more done with my life.
I have an IQ that floats somewhere around 144, at least on a full night of sleep, yet I can't figure out how to make a simple website. I'd rather jump face first into a cactus than make a website.
Apparently this is too good and unable to be revised, and now I have to write another essay as an alternate assignment instead of revising it like everyone else. Interesting.
There is nothing better than getting a random text from my son's teacher about how humble and kind he is.
I mean, I'm blonde and I really like pink and have lots of pink clothes. You can say me and my family are rich. 5-bedroom house, balance after all bills and etc. are paid equals 3,000 pounds plus. I live in a private estate, life is good. Yeah, you just popped up on my people you may know list.
That's cool that you remembered me.
It wasn't that long ago.
A few months is enough for me to forget someone's face if I only met them once.
Well, I suppose I just don't meet many people.
I meet a lot of people. I was at a massive party last night with over 100 people there. And 2 nights ago I met a dozen foreign exchange students and took them to a bar. Time to get back into shape, cause I'm so fat. I'm definitely not looking for attention. I am fat as hell.
Jesus Christ, don't they at least believe in scrap metal? They could probably get $50 from all of those at least to buy a couple cases for a Our Yard Isn't Disgusting Anymore party.
Well, I'll give you $3.50.
Just let one enterprising hobo in there and he'd have that cleared out in no time.
Best I can do is $2.75.
$50? $50? Please tell me you're not serious. I highly doubt they care about $50. Ha 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 ha. That's pocket change for most people. Well, for me at least. I can't speak for everyone.
I've had a few friends, a couple of whom are teachers, say to me in a very impressed tone of voice, "You read everything, don't you?" It puzzles me. I've always loved reading. People walk down the street reading their phone. I used to do that with a book on my way to school and everyone thought I was crazy. I find it shocking when people say they don't read.
Let's talk about transferable skills, specifically #public speaking. I've been very fortunate to not have experienced any anxiety or fear of public speaking. When I went to university, I was complimented many times about being a good presenter, even though at the time, I thought I was just doing the same as everyone else. This left me to ponder where I had garnered my public speaking skill set. It must have come from somewhere, right? I concluded that my experiences in sports and teaching had provided me with invaluable lessons unintentionally. Teaching to children aged 4 to 11 had allowed me to develop a natural and logically flow by breaking down every activity step by step. It wasn't apparent at first to me that teaching would provide me with a skill set which has enabled me to articulate my ideas and strategies in completely different industries. Callback, remember when I said I thought I was doing the same as everyone else? Well, I clearly wasn't. As others saw it as public speaking and presenting, I viewed it just as talking, which allowed me to have a different mindset.
Does anyone else have a hard time conversing with most women due to an intelligence gap? I'm not expecting most of you to support this one because it's a bit of a stretch further than what I normally see in r/MGTOW, but here it goes. I've noticed over the years that when talking to other men, things just run smoothly. They understand what I say and vice versa. They have insightful additions to the conversation that convey their understanding of what the topic at hand is. No, I'm not gay. This has nothing to do with being shy either or any of that. I've just noticed that talking to men versus women is mainly different because women seem to have lower intelligence in certain areas that often come up in conversation. I'm not striking up conversation about rocket science or anything either. They often have trouble understanding simple concepts that when they give insight on something, it seems like they aren't even talking about the same thing. I'm super polite about it during the exchange, but when I walk away, I just sort of think about what happened and mouse "what the fuck" under my breath.
I bought a homeless man and his dog lunch today. It cost me about £4. He was tearing up while he thanked me. How much must he have been ignored or abused to be relieved to the point of tears at being brought lunch and a can of dog food? People suck.
Reach the max amount of friends on Snap.
I love how my girlfriend feels like a badass after sex. After we have sex, my girlfriend usually has just the biggest smile and look of happiness. So I finally asked her playfully, "Why do you always have that look after sex?" And I loved her response. She said, "I'm fucking a hot guy every night who cares about me and then lets me cuddle him after. I'm just absolutely killing it and can't help but smile. I don't know why, but that just made me feel good and wanted and maybe even sexy. I've never been with a woman who seemed like having sex with me was an accomplishment. I have never seen a woman with a big man on campus type confidence, and that just made me feel amazing. I hope I'll make her feel like that too."
I don't know what it is about boat guys, but the captain of our boat last year in St. Martin, a worker on the boat in Santorini, and the captain of our boat today all fell in love with me, so guess I attract boat guys. Evan, are you a boat guy?
Am I the asshole for telling my nephew that my body isn't unrealistic? This is something that has happened recently. I'm a 23-year-old male and I go to the gym several times a week. I'm quite muscular at a relatively low body fat percentage, around 10 to 11%. I have a ripped body and abs, so if you saw me, the first impression is that I'm someone who works out. My nephew's a 16-year-old male that looks up to me quite a bit. His mother, a 35-year-old woman, my older sister, has tried to encourage him that he doesn't have to look a certain way to be happy. Fair play, I don't disagree with her. So what happened the other day was that when I was hanging out with my nephew, he asked me whether I think he could look like me. I asked him why wouldn't that be possible, and he said, "My mom tells me that your body is unrealistic and nearly impossible to achieve, so I don't see the point in trying." Wow, I was confused and startled when I heard that. My body certainly isn't unrealistic to achieve, nor is it even close to impossible. It's difficult, but so are many things worth striving for.
Keep my job at a $95,000 per year is what amounts to a mid-grade manager with guaranteed advancement in the next 2 years, or I'm sure you all do wonderful things. It's just a weird targeted ad for me. I'm in the customer service business too. We serve internationally.
Why do guys only want me if they're less educated than me, or much older, or in some way less accomplished? I'm new to the dating game, having just gotten out of a long-term relationship. I'm highly educated with 6 years at university and clinical and medical background under my belt, and yet the only guys who message me on dating apps are people who barely finished high school, telling me they think we'd make a good match. Otherwise, it's people over 40, which is too old for me, and even then it's people with barely any education. Does anyone else have that happen to them? What's going on? Honestly, you do not need this software and the novelty will wear off quick. With that said, it is awesome! Buy it for sure and enjoy basically showing off in style. It also has some awesome features like reducing the opacity of icons among other things. The UI has some really intuitive features. It feels like a person made a software for themselves, and because they use it themselves, they were really good at knowing what a user may need. Reminds me of the time when I did something similar and it was an instant hit. Not really a meme, just wanted to share that I cried about my organic chemistry exam until I remembered I was Asian, then I aced it like a boss. Tonight was an ego booster. Everyone kept complimenting my appearance and one lady kept motivating me to model every time I came to her table. I love... Do professors like to hear from former students about good news? There is a professor I had in undergrad who really influenced my decision to pursue philosophy and wrote my letters of recommendation for my MA. Should I write her to tell her about my PhD program acceptance?
Good luck to him. I only got up to a 700-pound deadlift at my peak, so I was nowhere near the level of you guys. Some of the stuff you guys do is amazing. I just do fitness modeling type stuff these days. Don't even know how easily I can pull 500 anymore. Have a great week, guys.
I think some brains work differently than others. In kindergarten, I tested as having a very IQ, and again as an adult. My brain has always worked excellently. I understood political events as a small child, could read people, etc. My dad used to ask me business advice. The only difference is that as I got older, I developed a great fund of knowledge. I have always been the same person my entire life.
I didn't believe it when they said we already had 8 inches of snow. Had to check for myself.